Good morning. Today we discuss what is avalanche effect. This topic is experienced when we discuss about the high field effects. At low field effects, the drift velocity is linearly proportional to the applied field. We assume that the time interval between collisions tau c is independent of the applied field. This is a reasonable assumption as long as the drift velocity is small as compared with the thermal velocity of carriers, which is about 10 to the power 7 centimeter per second for silicon at room temperature. As the drift velocity approaches the thermal velocity, its field dependence on the electric field will begin to depart from the linear relationship as here shown in this diagram. This figure shows us the measured drift velocity of electrons and holes in silicon as a function of the electric field. It is apparent that initially the field dependence of the drift velocity is linear, corresponding to a constant mobility. As the electric field is further increased, the drift velocity increases rapidly. At sufficiently large fields, the drift velocity approaches a saturation velocity. The experiment results can be approximated by empirical relations. The velocity Vn or Vp can be given as Vs divided by 1 plus epsilon s divided by epsilon whole to the power gamma bracket close 1 by gamma, where Vs is the saturation velocity of the order of 10 to the power 7 centimeter per second for silicon at 300 Kelvin. E0 is constant, equals to 7 into 10 to the power 3 volt per centimeter for electrons and 2 into 10 to the power 4 volt per centimeter for holes in high purity silicon materials, and gamma is 2 for electrons and 1 for holes. Velocity saturation at high fields is particularly likely for field effect transistors (FETs) with very short channels. Even moderate voltage can result in high field along the channel. This effect will be discussed on later. The high field transport in N-type gallium arsenide is different from that of silicon. The figure shows measured drift velocity versus field for N-type and P-type gallium arsenide. The results for silicon are also shown in log-log plot for comparison. If we note that for N-type gallium arsenide, the drift velocity reaches a maximum, then decreases as the field further increases. This phenomena is due to energy band structure of gallium arsenide that allows transfer of conduction electrons from high mobility energy minimum called a valley to low mobility higher energy satellite valleys, that is electrons. To low mobility high energy satellite valleys, that is electron transfer from central valley to satellite valleys along 111 direction as we have discussed previously. To understand this phenomena, we consider two value model for N-type gallium arsenide as is shown in the diagram. The energy separation between two valleys delta E is equal to 0.31 electron volts. The lower valley's electron effective mass is denoted by M1, the electron mobility is denoted by mu1 and the electron density by N1. The upper valley quantities are denoted by M2, mu2 and N2 respectively, and the total electron concentration is given by N1 is equal to N1 plus N2. The steady state conduction of the N-type gallium arsenide can be written as sigma is equal to Q mu1 N1 plus mu2 N2 is equal to Q n mu bar, where the average mobility mu bar is given by mu1 N1 plus mu2 N2 bracket close divided by N1 plus N2. The drift velocity is then given by Vn is equal to mu bar epsilon. For simplicity, we make the following assignments for the electron concentrations in various ranges of electric field values. The field is low and all electrons remain in the lower value. In the figure which we have shown over here, the field is higher for some electron gain, sufficiently energies from the field move to the higher valley. The field is high enough to transfer all electrons to the higher valley. So N1 is nearly equal to N and N2 is nearly equal to 0 for the electric field lying between 0 and EA. When N1 plus N2 is equal to N, n1 is nearly equal to 0 and n2 is nearly equal to n for the electric field greater than Eb. Using these relations, the effective drift velocity takes on the asymptotic values. Vn is nearly equal to mu1 E for E lying between 0 and Ea. Vn is nearly equal to mu2 E for E lying between E greater than Eb. If mu1 Ea is larger than mu2 Eb, there is a region in which the drift velocity decreases with the increasing field between Ea and Eb. Because the characteristics of the drift velocity of n-type and gallium arsenide, this material is used in microwave transferred electron devices. When the electric field in a semiconductor is increased above a certain value, the carrier gains enough kinetic energy to generate electron hole pairs by avalanche process that is shown over here. If we consider an electron in the conduction band, the electric field is high enough, the electron can gain kinetic energy before it collides with the lattice. On impact, the lattice and the electron imparts most of its kinetic energy to break a bond, that is to ionize a valence electron from the valence band to the conduction band, thereby generate an electron hole pair designated by 2 and 2r. Similarly, the generated pair now begins to accelerate in the field and collides with the lattice as indicated in the figure. In turn, they will generate other electron hole pairs. This process is called the avalanche process. It is also referred to as the impact ionization process. To gain some idea about the ionization energy involved, let us consider the process. Just prior to the collision, the fast moving electron has kinetic energy half mv square and a momentum of m1 v0, where m1 is the effective mass and vs is the saturation velocity. After collision, there are three carriers: the original electron plus the electron hole pair. We assume that the three carriers have the same effective mass, same kinetic energy and same momentum, and the total kinetic energy is half m1 vf square and the total momentum 3 m1 vf, where vf is the velocity after the collision. To conserve both energy and momentum, therefore, after the collision we require that half m1 vs square is equal to Eg plus 3 by 2 m1 vf square. m1 vs is equal to 3 m1 vf, where Eg is the band gap corresponding to the minimum energy required to generate an electron hole pair. So, if we substitute this, we get the kinetic energy of the ionization process. E0 is equal to half m1 vs square, that is equal to 1.5 Eg. It is obvious that E0 must be larger than the band gap for ionization process to occur. The actual energy required depends on the band structure. For silicon, the value of E0 is 3.6 eV, 3.2 Eg for electrons and 5.5 electron volts, that is 4.4 electron Eg for holes. The number of electron hole pairs generated by electron per unit distance travelled is called the ionization rate for electrons, alpha n. Similarly, alpha p is the ionization rate for holes. The measured ionization rates for silicon and gallium arsenide are shown in the figure accompanying this slide. For substantially large ionization rate, that is about 10 power 4 centimeter inverse, the corresponding electric field is 3 into 10 power 5 volt per centimeter for silicon and 4 into 10 power 5 volt per centimeter for gallium arsenide. The electron hole pair generation rate Ga from the avalanche process is given by Ga is equal to half in brackets alpha n Gn plus alpha p Gp bracket close, where Gn and Gp are the electron and hole current densities respectively. This expression is used in the continuity equation for devices operated under avalanche process. Thank you.